Yeah. I want to talk about relationship because I believe it is the most spoken of today. I believe it should be talked about. People need to be informed of the things that can make a relationship work. Many people are not informed and are not told how to keep a relationship. People must understand that education also applies to relationship. People must be told precisely how to be, what not to be for a relationship to work. Because many people have entered a relationship and got married and have not had any previous experience as to what to expect and what not to expect. What many people have not understood is there is no perfect person. There is no perfect person. Everybody deserves a chance to learn and to grow. It is not right for a person to not have the chance to learn and to grow. Some people enter a relationship expecting the person to be perfect. That's not good. And when a person expects perfection from the other half, if they continue to expect such a thing from the other half, it could be very bad futuristically. Relationship goes by stage. It's like a tree and it's like a child. It grows. And in the process of growing, we learn. We learn from each other. Remember, there are two different people. Comes from two different backgrounds. Therefore, there must be an application of patience, an application of understanding, because those things need to be applied in order for the other person and for either side to work, to grow, to learn. Remember, you do not know who you are until you get with someone. There are things about you that have been dormant, and they will come out when you meet another person. Some men didn't know that they could be violent until they meet someone else, and that violent ways of that man need to be dealt with because he didn't have anything to provoke the violence in him until he meets the woman that might help him to change. A relationship is like a puzzle. You need the other half to be completed. And the other half is going to be the half that's going to make you the woman that you were born to be. The other half is going to make you the half that of the man that's going to make you the man that you were born to be. And these are the application and understanding that a person must have in order for a relationship to work. However, there are some people who are not into the things that make a relationship work. There are people who do not have the intention to be in a relationship. There are people who made sex their priority. These are what you call the promiscuous people. The people who do not have the intention to get married. And once a person doesn't have the intention to get married, it means that anything is possible. Now, I'm not going to be selfish with this perspective. It could be they have gotten to that point because of a previous experience that they had, which caused them to be this way. Not that they don't want to get married, it's just that they are afraid that they might face the same predicament. But in every situation, analyzation and observation is necessary. Now, what if you have gotten into a relationship where the person you get yourself into a relationship with had been with someone and that someone didn't do anything to them? And you are aware that they had departed from someone, I believe that it's important for you to investigate what had happened, on why he or she separated. What if that person they separated from had not done anything wrong? And what if you are the very reason of their separation? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna be the man to say, I passed down the street today and I saw Linda or I saw Stacy and she wasn't looking happy? Are you woman enough to say, I'm not feeling good about this. I feel responsible for what she is facing or what she is, what is happening to her? I think you should go back to your wife. Some people are not man enough or woman enough to do these things. No, they are glad that they have gotten involved with James or with Peter, because Peter is hot and he has a nice car and he has a good job and he's good looking. To hell with Stacy. To hell with Linda. Oh yeah? Oh, so this is how you see things? Then you are just as wicked as him. And you're going to face the consequences futuristically. It's going to happen to you. He is going to do the same thing to you. It's just a matter of time. And when it happens, you know what they do? They blame God. Oh, it's God. Why did you do this to me, God? What? When you were getting involved with this man, you were not thinking about God. You were thinking about getting laid. You were not thinking about God. Now you are messed up. And he messed up your life. And he's known to be promiscuous now. Like his true self has been manifested. You are blaming everybody. You even blame all men to be the same. Or you even blame all women to be the same. No, that was just your foolish mistake of not, seeing the things that you had to see, so that to let you know that you need to get out before it get worse. But no, he's cute and he has a good job and he's, he didn't even, he didn't do any good things to you. When he was with his friend, he excluded you. It's as if you were not there. When she was with her friends, she excluded you. It's as if you were not there. Didn't you realize that she was not into you, but she was just into sex? And at this time, eventually, it's not sweet anymore. Just as you can go to a restaurant and buy cheese sandwich or ham and cheese, if you do that for like 2-3 days, you are going to be tired of ham and cheese. You are going to want to have bacon and egg. And that's the human nature. But that application should not be applied to a relationship, because children are involved. But when it comes to these type of things, some people don't think about children. And what I'm saying is this: before you get yourself involved with a person, you need to know what you are getting yourself into. You need to see the things that aren't good for you to understand that this person is not good. And if this person could have left another person, you need to find out. Because if you have not gone and find out, you could get in a lot of trouble futuristically. She could do the same thing to you. He could do the same thing to you. Sometimes maybe it could be the situation where you went and took away someone from their lover. If that someone was taken easily, that means that someone is going to be taken by somebody else futuristically. And when it happens, you surprise. You surprise? Or now you're crying? Or now it's God's fault? Don't you know that some people literally made sex eclipse everything? Like sex eclipse everything. You know what I'm saying? And maybe the person who he had abandoned for you was a good person. Oh, but no. At the time, you were all caught up and raptured in his words, and his sweet talks, and his hot ride, and his good job, and his nice walk. Oh, yeah? These are the things that people look at as to say, they're going to get themselves in a relationship. People don't really focus on the things that are necessary. The things that are necessary for a relationship to work. People don't focus on these things. And what people do oftentimes is they deposit their upbringing in their relationship. Like you were brought up a certain way and you saw your daddy beating your mother, and you're going to actually apply that in your relationship. You got to get rid of that. Some people bring their upbringing and put it in their relationship. Your mama was controlling, and you're going to control your husband. Don't you think that he's going to get tired of you? He don't want to be controlled. Everybody wants to be free. Why do you want to control him? You can't even control your own self. You don't even like to hang out your clothes. You don't like to press your clothes. When you fart, you don't say, excuse me. You don't cook. A matter of fact, when you cook noodles. He don't want no noodles. He want pot food. The man want cook food. The man don't want no noodles, but you want to control him. You want to control her. You don't even know how to treat your kids, but you want to control her. Or because you think you're good in bed? You think being good in bed is going to last forever? You think that's going to be always tasty and explosive? People get tired of things quick. It's in the human nature. That's why when you get yourself involved in a relationship with someone, you got to get yourself involved with a person who loves God, first of all. Because a person who loves God lives by the principles of God. Therefore, if anything goes wrong in the relationship, he is going to find a way to work things out. Some people don't like to work things out. Some people are glad when bad times come, when arguments and things of that nature come. Because what happens is they are going to have an excuse to leave you, to dump you, like a mango, like a rotten mango, like trash. Before you get yourself in a relationship, you need to know what you want. Because sometimes we suffer because we got into the relationship not knowing what we want and blame the other person for our foolish mistake unaware. You need to know what you want. And once you know what you want, then you got to look for somebody who wants the same thing that you want. You can't go in a relationship and want to be in a faithful relationship and be in and you are in the relationship, or you get yourself in a relationship because the guy look cute, or because the girl is sexy, or because she has a big butt. Really? Is that your reason for being in this relationship? Because she has a big butt? Or because she's good in bed? If she's good in bed, you better be good in bed too. If you are not good in bed, she's going to dump you like a rotten mango, and you're not going to even realize it. And this is the thing today. People have applied these type of intrinsic to what God has put in us and to how things are to be. If a person doesn't apply the qualities to the relationship that are necessary for a relationship, you need to reconsider and you need to get out. A lot of you are suffering because your choices were wrong. And you want to blame God. Like in church. You think because he's in church, he's going to be the man that's going to last? Being in church doesn't guarantee you a good man. There's a lot of hypocrites in church. There's a lot of wolves in sheep clothing. You need to be with a man who truly loves God. Not a church goer. Not because he sings well, or not because she sings well, means that she's going to be well in your relationship. She could be somebody who's just aggressive and who like things her way, who like things his way. It's not about her way or his way. It's about working together. You are not alone. People go into a relationship with a single mentality. You can't go into a relationship with a single mentality. You got to go in a relationship knowing that you are with somebody else and you need to adjust. Some people refuse to adjust. Some people prefer to be how they are for the rest of their life. And if you have found that man, and if that's the man you are with, you are in hell street. Because that's going to be miserable. And women are emotional. You could tell when a woman is not in a good relationship. She's going to look miserable, unhappy. Her eyes are going to be red because she cries a lot. Same thing for a man. When a man is not in a good relationship, he can't work good. He's going to put the pen in the garbage, not knowing that his mind is so unleavened that he throw the pen in the garbage. Be careful. And you know, when people are in bad relationship, it is easy for them to be manipulated by someone else, especially women. If a woman is in a bad relationship and she has met a colleague who has good talks, it is possible that she would leave her husband. And those good talks are going to build emotion. And those emotions are going to transform into infatuation. And her husband is going to be in trouble. Not only her husband, but her children. Children are involved. People don't care when emotions are involved. People only care about wanting to be emancipated from their predicaments. And this is how a relationship is in society. And we need to stop. We need to start praying and asking God for guidance and knowing exactly what you want before you get involved. Because there are some people who let sex eclipse everything. And when I say eclipse, means sex is most important, and it should not be. Not because he is not good in bed. What about the fact that he brought lunch for you? What about the fact that he was always the type of person who give you good advices? What about the time when he wiped the tears from your eyes when you came home, bombarded with stress from your work? Are you going to overlook those things because he is not so good in bed? Like, really? So, because if you go with a man who's good in bed, he might not be good in other things. He might not be good in other things. You need to check all these things. Being good in bed is not enough. Because if he's good in bed, he expects you to be good in bed too. If she's good in bed, she expects you to be good in bed. So you see, sex is not all. And today in society, sex eclipses everything. Sad. And so this is my topic on relationship, and we need to wake up and stop smelling the coffee. People always say, wake up and smell the coffee. Stop smelling that coffee. Smell God. Smell the Bible. Get into God. Get into the Bible. Pray. Let God tell you exactly what you need to know. Why I say God? Because God is the creator. He is the one who created you, and he knows what is best for you. You don't know because you have not created yourself. When you were in the process of being created, you were nowhere in consciousness. You didn't have the cognitive or the consciousness to resist and say, hey, I don't want this. I want that. You know, you were created, and there are things that were put in place for you to live by. And that's God. Just like a car. If a car is a BMW, you got to go to the BMW factory or manufacturer to know exactly, to get the part, the precise part that is meant for the BMW, that is designed for the BMW. You can't go to a Toyota and get a BMW part. So that's where you got to go to the creator. When it comes to relationship, you need to go to the creator. You need to apply to anything that is about God. If the man is not about God, you have to be careful because he's not living by principle. He is living by whatever. And you don't want to live by somebody who lives by whatever. Because whatever is not a direction. You need direction. You don't need money. Of course, money is necessary because you got to eat. Because you could have a man with money and you are miserable. You could have a man with a good job and you are miserable. Because he does not fit the things that a relationship needs for it to survive. He does not fit the qualities of what it takes to have a good relationship. Same thing for her. So before you get yourself involved, you need to know what you want. Because some people want sex. And if you meet a person who wants sex, you need to get out. Because that's what they are going to want when they leave you and dump you like a soursop. So you see, why are you crying? It's not God's fault. It's not God's fault. You didn't know what you wanted, so you got yourself involved with a promiscuous freak. And now he leaves you. You are blaming God and are angry with everybody else. You need to stop and wake up and realize that the person doesn't love you. And he had never loved you. She had never loved you. She just wanted a piece of you. And you didn't know. You did not know that that was his intention. Or that was her intention. Now he get a piece of you and he got enough of you. He's going to do what he always does. Move on. And now you are